They coming here. Where they coming? They here already in the States?
I think they here already.
Yep.
Yeah,
Damn,
I think
man.
they're here. I think
Where they
they're
at?
here.
Where they
And
at?
if everybody and if everybody has ever doubted Trump's proclivity for or racist tendencies,
Hmm.
here it is right now.
All right, well, I don't want to say nothing because he already on my ass today. I ain't saying nothing. Go ahead, Z. Go ahead, Z.
I mean, well, okay. Let me look at it. Let me look at it from the glass half full perspective, because there is a positive to this. The less white people are in Africa, the better for Africa. You know what I'm saying? So get those Dutch motherfuckers out as far as I'm concerned. That's cool. I just wish they didn't come. They weren't coming here. But this isn't really ours anyway. We should be probably trying to figure out how to get there the way that they figured out how to get here. That's all I got. Fuck them. And Trump and Elon. Like, I like that. I'm done. Go ahead.
I think Elon and Trump is beefing right now. Really?
Elon is white South Africa. That was one of his things that he told Trump to do. Trump said that was one of the things he told Trump to do or whatever. So Trump is still capitulating to whatever it is that fool wants. So I don't know whether they're beefing or not. All I know is that we have two evil ass white supremacists that are running the country right now. And we really need to take voting these motherfuckers out extremely seriously and voting candidates in that will vote them out and that will fight this this regime that we find ourselves in, man. Because like all the we could talk all we want or whatever, man, but until we get to seriously studying candidates and voting for people that stand for our best interest, like it's really not a point for any, you know what I'm saying, any conversation, man. Like make your voice heard with your vote and organize within your communities to be as self-sufficient as possible, because the worst is definitely yet to come. He just passed a crazy budget that he coined as the big beautiful bill, that is maybe not quite as annoying as the African farmer situation, but it's let me just, if I can just really quickly, Medicare, this is the big beautiful bill that was just passed last night. Medicare and Medicaid overhaul. Medicaid work requirements imposes mandatory work requirements for able-bodied adults without children, effective December 2026, potentially leading to loss of coverage for millions. Increased verification requires Medicaid recipients to re-enroll every 6 months and provide additional income and residency verifications, adding bureaucratic hurdles. Abortion funding restrictions ban federal funding for clinics that provide abortion services, affecting organizations like Planned Parenthood. SNAP food assistance reductions extends work requirements to adults age 55 to 64, potentially reducing access to food assistance.
Wow.
State funding limit mandates states to cover at least 5% of SNAP benefits, costs starting in 2028, increasing financial burdens on state budgets. Administrative penalties imposes penalties on states with SNAP error rates exceeding 6%. Whatever, that's cool. Tax policy extension to 2017 tax cuts makes permanent the tax cuts from Trump's first term, which critics argue disproportionately benefit the wealthy. Education and student loans replaces existing student loan repayment plan with two options, potentially reducing flexibility for borrowers. Hold on, there was something that was the SALT deduction cap is raised from 10% to 40% for taxpayers earning up to $500,000, benefiting those in high tax rates. This change aids higher income taxpayers who itemize deductions. Everything is, let me see, I'm missing the one thing that I really wanted to. Okay, the bill significantly reduces funding for social safety net programs, which disproportionately affects the poorest Americans. The Congressional Budget Office, CBO, estimates that by 2033, the lowest income households would experience a 4% reduction in their available financial resources due to these cuts. In contrast, the wealthiest households are projected to see a 2% increase in their resources, primarily due to the extension of these tax cuts versus the Biden era. So for the people that say that there's no difference between the Republican and Democratic Party, read.
Wow. And see what is that? What is this? The big beautiful. What is it called again?
It's called the Big. Trump has named it the Big Beautiful Bill. It was just passed in Congress last night.
Wow. So all of you Trump supporters, particularly those right down the middle of the country that are in rural areas that believe that Trump was going to do something for you, guess what? Those welfare checks are about to go.
Be done.
Medical support, medical coverage is about to be done. And you're going to have to get your ass up off the couch and go to work despite your disability. So you put him in office. Now you deal with the consequences.
I just wish the rest of us that you know what I'm saying. I really wish people that voted for people had to deal with the people that they voted for. Like I really wish.
Right.
Like I have a hard time dealing with the fact that like the stupidity of the motherfucker next to me really affects like my quality of life. It's almost like the COVID thing. You know what I'm saying? Like put on a fucking mask. Vote with a mask then. You know what I'm saying? Like keep your shit over there, dog. Like don't affect the rest of us, man. Like it's just so ugly. It's so ugly.
So me and Z talked about this earlier about
oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit. I probably need to go get some water for this one, huh?
I look at life as, hey, Aki, what you want to eat? You want to eat a ham sandwich or you want to eat a chitlin sandwich? I don't want to eat neither. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you got to eat one of them. You know what I'm saying? One of them make you big and strong, and one of them make you sick. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to eat either. But you got to choose something. So now I got to pick the lesser of the two evils.
Okay.
And they're both fucking evil. In their own different type of way, they both fucking evil. What you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? If I do it the one way, I'm going to be fucked in this way. If I do it another way, I'm going to be fucked in that way. These are the choices they present that they forces us. Don't shake your fucking head till I'm done.
I'm shaking my head so I don't cut you off. Let me shake my fucking head.
When they put choices in your face, you know what I'm saying? They make you believe that you have a sense of free will. You know what I'm saying? By putting this in your face, like, do you want margarine? Do you want butter? Or do you want? I can't believe it's not butter. Make your choice, because these are all the options you got. You know? Now, if you don't choose, you know what I'm saying? You're deemed a non-fucking voter or a non-participant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're not going to have many people that just say, you know what, we're all not going to vote, or we're all not going to select one of these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you make a choice, because you think that you had a good choice, you know what I'm saying? You're either going to be deemed this way horrible, or if you choose the other one, it's going to be that way horrible because people over here feel this way, or people over here feel that way. Hell, in Islam, you know what I'm saying? The Sunnis and the Shiites been beefing for centuries over the fact that, you know what I'm saying, they wanted the predecessor to be somebody that was related to Muhammad, or someone that, you know what I'm saying, that is standardized to the elk and the deen of Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they became Sunnis and Shiites. You know? like light skin to black dark skin shit. You know what I'm saying? All these different decisions that you fucking make. You know what I mean? It's something that is presented to you through media, that you look at it, you understand their point of view, or you think that it aligns with you, and come to find out it doesn't. That happens for both fucking parties with the Democrat and the Republicans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Barack Obama was in this bitch. Only joined it for that motherfucker because he was black. I went to see him because it was identity politics of damn. I was able to be in a dynamic to see a president that looks like me. Kind of found out he wasn't me at all. You know what I'm saying?
He was still by far the better candidate, though. We didn't just vote for Obama because he's black. If that's the case, we would have voted for Herman Cain because he's black. Obama was a brilliant candidate. He's a brilliant man, dog. Like, just because the politics didn't necessarily align to pro-blackness doesn't mean he wasn't the best candidate at the time.
Okay, so people voted for Trump. People thought that he was the best candidate at the time.
Who the okay, I'm gonna shut up.
I mean, the people spoken. Like it was on the fucking flag. Like
how as a black person though? I get why white people. I get why white people.
No, hold on. Time out. Did they not show the flag that, like, you know what I'm saying, when it came to who voted for who, that it was a massive wipeout from either voting for Kamala Harris or voting for Donald Trump? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm waiting.
There's so many. That's a layered answer, bro. As far as what they showed,
it was a stat. What are you talking about? The layered answer.
As far as what was showed in regards to Trump's like the last election. Yeah, you said what?
It was a lie.
I'm saying. But also we didn't know that Elon was about to come in and literally pay hundreds of millions of dollars, political dollars, to push these far right wing candidates. And then we also, there are different things. There are a lot of different things at play, bro, including misogyny and patriarchy, which prevented a lot of men from voting for Kamala. I just got to say that shit, bro, because there's no reason that she should not be in office, especially from black people in particular, dog. Like, there's no reason that she should not have by a landslide had black support over Trump. I'm not a huge fan of her. I'm not a huge fan of her husband. Whatever. But if between the two, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's like the analogy that I gave you earlier. Like, if it's between getting stabbed, I don't want to be stabbed. Nobody wants to be stabbed. But if you give me the option between being stabbed and having leukemia, stab me. Like, Trump is fucking leukemia, bro. And no matter what, like, the messed up thing for me, we could say that, you know, John McCain and, you know, Obama, or, you know, same party, or Hillary, and like, we could say that to a certain extent. We are seeing the far right wing takeover of the Republican Party. This is not just regular Republicans. This is right wing. These are white supremacists. These are motherfuckers that would sell every last one of us to the highest bidder. It's a different animal, bro. The far right, it's a completely different animal, bro. It's just a completely different animal. Far left is transgender bathrooms and like that sort of shit. Far right is
a lot of black deaths.
Niggas picking cotton.
And a lot of black deaths.
I don't know what you're specifically talking about, and that's the thing, bro. Like, we started this off by me talking about specific policy in this bill. You talking about bologna and fucking chitlin sandwiches. That's part of the problem too. We can't discuss policy because when we discuss policy, it becomes black and white. And you don't like the things to be black and white. You like this gray ass area and shit where the Illuminati might exist and you know, all this other shit. Let's talk policy, bro. Project 2025 is the shit that we literally should have had every fucking show about up until this election. But cats don't have like, for whatever reason, they literally laid it out. And I told cats and nobody listened to me. I told you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody listened to me. It was still a game of, oh, well, yeah, they're the same and all. No, they're fucking not. They're not. I can't take motherfuckers saying that shit, bro. They're not. Not right now. My aunt about to get fucking deported, bro, would not be about to get fucking deported. Would not be about to get fucking deported if Kamala was in office, bro. They're not the fucking same, bro. There's some real differences, bro, and they're no.
They are. I never said it wasn't.
You just said they're the same.
No. I never said that they wasn't like there was. I said that over here is evil and over here is evil. One play a different way of evil and another play another.
That sounds so much like they're the same, bro.
Dude, let me ask you a question, and maybe I can answer this for me. Like I said, let's go back to Barack years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you not see the majority of the murders of police killing black people during the Barack time?
I don't necessarily have I personally, I'm sorry, B. I don't necessarily have a recollection of that. So I don't really want to speak on that. My long-term memory is horrible. What I can say though is that
I can say
yeah. Okay. Well, and that could be because of where you're at geographically. But I can tell you, I go into voting understanding that there's not one candidate that is ever going to offer me 100 or ever going to be able to address 100% of my socioeconomic needs and wants. I understand that. But my approach to selecting a candidate, and I'll liken this to, you were using some food analogies, right? You were saying butter, margarine, and some other things you were using. What I've come to do is when I'm on the fence about buying something like that, and perhaps it's a bit trivial, me comparing the selection of political officials to selection of food, but you brought it up, so I'll use that. But what I've come to do over the past however many years is when I'm on the fence in the supermarket about buying something and I question the health and I question the healthfulness of the item, right? I flip it over on the back and read the ingredients.
Label,
right? And then in me doing so, I'm able to make an informed decision about that which is going to offer me the best benefit. I approach it the exact same way with selecting political candidates, right? Understanding that nothing is going to be 100% for me, right, on either side. But I do know that there's going to be something that has historically worked for me the best and has given me what I need, right? So that's that. Now with the Barack Obama thing, I fully acknowledge, and I was a critic of Barack Obama during his 2 terms because I thought, from my perspective, that he didn't do enough for us as a people. But I'm not the only one that feels that way. A lot of us do. I think he could have did a lot more for our people socioeconomically, not just up in Chicago, but across the country. 100%. But I do recognize that he was the best option for us as a people, understanding that he could have did more, So, yeah, that's it for me.
So when it comes to Kamala Harris, I was looking at the label. It just wasn't adding for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't adding up. And I'm like, hold up, this is the option that I have. This is the only choice that I have. You know what I'm saying? To for my people. You know what I mean? And it's like, this doesn't look really good. You know what I mean?
It doesn't look good, but then you consider what's the alternative?
What's the alternative?
And I mean, do you think a better alternative for our people when you're thinking about our people, do you think the better alternative for our people was putting Trump?
I don't know, man.
How don't you know?
I don't know.
So you know I kind of stand with Ak on this. I didn't like neither one of them. I don't like Democrats. I don't like Republicans. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. There has never been anyone sitting in that seat that has really impacted my day-to-day life. I am in control of what happens to me.
I agree.
I still have to get up and I have to go to work. I still have to pay my bills. I don't get government assistance or anything, and not to say that that doesn't impact what I pay in taxes and stuff like that. But I have never had anyone in my life on this earth who has sat in that seat in particular that has impacted what happens to me day to day.
Got you. I got you. Okay. Well, I think one of the things that we got to think about, we can't necessarily think about this on when we think about the impact that politics has on us. I agree with you, Brandie. I feel the same way too in terms of not feeling the direct benefit of it. But if we think about this on a macro level,
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Has anybody here ever been in front of a judge?
All the time. I'm in landlord-tenant court.
No, when you are the, not from that position, but when you're actually in front of the judge and the case is about you. A judge is an elected position.
Right.
Every time
I pay attention to those seats, like the local ones.
You said politics don't affect your day to day. Politics.
No, I'm saying in that particular seat. But when it comes to every other seat, I am doing research. I am digging in the backgrounds, and I am voting in all those other seats.
So Brandie, you're talking about executive level politics. Is that?
I'm talking about just the presidential seat. To me, it's a shit show. Yeah. It's all for entertainment to a certain degree. And so I look at all the other seats. When it comes to judges and stuff, I am looking at all of that because I'm in those courtrooms all the time. So I'm looking at that stuff. I look at their personal social medias. I'm digging into how they're voting, how they voted in the past. I look at all of that stuff.
I challenge everybody, all the daily walkers, as well as my esteemed colleagues here on the show, to read 30 pages of Project 2025 before the next show, and then come back here and then tell me that what happens at the federal level doesn't affect you. We don't, just because you don't know what's going on doesn't mean it's not affecting you. Just because you can't smell oxygen doesn't mean that if oxygen doesn't leave the room, you're still going to be breathing. Like we are oblivious to a lot of the smoke and mirrors that is politics. And it literally kills us as Black people. We ignore. We're learning the fan hustle. Where them fans at? While people are making tangible policy that will affect us for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And we are behind because of that. Slavery lasted 500 years because people have been out strategizing us. This is not like, none of this shit is not for anything. It actually terrifies me when people say that the federal government, what happens at the federal government doesn't affect them, because for me, that's a blatant admission of just how much we don't understand in regards to the environment that we find ourselves in.
So I'm not saying that. I'm saying that specifically for the president, that seat right there, it's a fucking insult to my intelligence, the candidates that are presented to us and the way that the elections run. That irritates my spirit. Like I can't stand to watch it. It's like a reality show in America with that. And that's where I feel with Ak is just like, you really, this who you giving me? You gonna talk to me like this? Like I don't have an education. For the Democrats, you literally sit up here and bring chicken and motherfucking watermelon and think I'm supposed to vote for your ass. Fuck that. That's an insult to my intelligence. When you have people coming in and bringing that type of stuff to our communities, it makes me not want to look at none of it. So that's my irritation with it.
That's an emotional response to something that's tangibly affecting you. I get feeling insulted by people having hot sauce in their purses and saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. I understand that it is insulting. The emotional response is to turn off and to say, well, yeah, fuck all of this. The pragmatic response is to say, all right, we have kids on this earth. Even if I'm irritated, how do I make their lives easier? Whose policies are going to make the next 10, 20, 15 years policy? Not what happens on stage, not who goes on the Breakfast Club, not who goes on Fox News versus MSNBC. Whose policy? None of us here are speaking to policy, and that's the problem. We're talking about feelings, how people make us feel. We feel insulted. We feel a certain way. Policy.
What policy helped out black people in the Democratic Party and in the Republican Party.
I just started this segment off by telling you the changes of policy from the Democratic administration to what's happening now. And the last thing that I said is that rich people, the top 1%, are going to be 2% in 2% richer, and the poorest people are going to be 4% poor. 2% and 4% doesn't sound like a lot of money until you're dealing with billionaires and motherfuckers that literally are living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. That matters. Historically, poor people do better under democratic policies. Historically, poor people do better when there are social services and safety nets to help poor people, because poor people don't come from generational wealth. When you don't come from generational wealth, and when you don't have people that are educated to policy and how money works and how to get certain resources and where to go for what and these different things, you need safety nets. Poverty is not an accident. It's very intentional. And keeping people impoverished is also very intentional. And the easiest way to keep somebody impoverished is by keeping information away from them. And the easiest way to keep some information away from somebody is by distracting them with other things and convincing them that everybody's the same. And yeah, it's just two sides to the same coin, that you go be struggling no matter what. Like, yeah, black people are at the bottom, but the bottom gets a lot deeper. And maybe our generation just needs to feel that. And we're going to feel that. So, I'm glad that we're doing this show, because we're going to keep these conversations going. But you will feel the tangible push from this administration, because this is unlike anything that we've seen. And this is 6 months in. We're not feeling the weight of any of this. You say that what happens at the federal level doesn't affect you. Okay, these tariffs are about to raise prices on everything. So we'll check in about a month or so once that actually takes place, and we complaining about how far our dollar doesn't go.
It don't go nowhere right now.
Cool. Give it time.
You see how much further it doesn't go.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, there's no, like, we can't even have yeah, okay, cool. Like, even about tariffs, there's always some argument. My dollar doesn't go far now. That doesn't matter. It doesn't
go any fucking where. What are you talking about?
Bro. Cool.
You think that hold on? You think that if my dollar go lower, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I'm fucking broke. I'm broke every fucking day, B.
When gas was $2 a gallon, when gas was
every fucking day.
When gas was $2, let me ask you this.
Gas $2.
When gas was $2 a gallon.
Right.
When gas was $2 a gallon, did your dollar not go further than it does now?
I didn't have a job then.
Okay. All right, y'all. I'm done.
So let me say this. I'm gonna bring a little bit of comedy into this. I just wrote a song today called "Seeking a Crackhead." Okay. And there's a line in the song that says, my gallon of milk is costing as much as a rack of lamb.
Which is crazy.
Gallon of milk is costing as much as a rack of lamb. I haven't released the song yet, but I'm going to let y'all listen to it, because it actually speaks to this guy's experience, why he's seeking a crackhead despite the moral conflict, as a means of being able to fight through the increasing costs that are coming as a result of tariffs.
Right.
So I'll let y'all know when that. But let me say this quick, Z, because I'll forget. Z, I accept your challenge though, right? I will read the Project 2025. I'm curious, and I'll be the first to admit. Online? Yeah, they have a website. You go right on there. There's a website, Project 2025.
I accept the challenge.
I gotta run the DoorDash. I gotta run to get my DoorDash or whatever. But yeah, I appreciate y'all accepting the challenge.
I hope that you don't get the tariffs on the DoorDash, bro.
They haven't started yet, but they're going to, brother. And as we joke, I know we're joking, bro, but this is all serious shit. Like, we gotta stop. We gotta stop letting things happen. We gotta stop letting things happen to us, bro. Project 2025 came out a year prior to this motherfucker being voted in and these Republican people being voted in. I'm just saying, like, it's one thing to just give up and just be like willfully ignorant or whatever. But when we participate in these processes, man, we owe it to ourselves to be educated. And as long as people are putting the information out there, we're not receiving it. we're not even in the ethical position to be like who we like and who we don't like. If the information is out there, like it's out there, bro. Like I've been like catches don't listen to me, bro. Like I'm just motherfuckers write me off as just the militant nigga that, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But I've been telling niggas that this was coming and it's here. So I don't know. I got to get my DoorDash before that's not here. I don't mean to be the last word.
Go ahead.
You coming back?
Yeah.
Come back.